This is your Vairav Palnichami. We have been talking about the success strategy for the civil service exam and other competitive exams. So what we are going to talk about is efforts, studies and practice. What are efforts? Effort is like when you really prepare for an examination, unless otherwise you put some effort, you will not be able to really clear the examination. Not only examination, any work that you have to really start doing it. That's the first part. The second part here, like it's not a job you will be doing job. When you do a study in a job, the every day you will be in the type of job varies. Like you are working like in a computer, some typing work or some editing work, or somebody you are doing some analytical work. It's the same type of work you will be doing. Suppose you are working in an office and a clerical, and then you will be watching or you will be going through similar type of files. Maybe sometime maybe a different file, but here. So what's going to happen? Every day you will be looking into different type of books and syllabus, and every day is a new day for you. When there is a new day for you, new subject for you, and it's like it's a new thinking emerges. So how you are going to really work on that? So that's very, very important. That's what we say, that it's like continuous. The effort is there and continuous study has to be there. It's like continuous and consistent. Every time which we have been telling, and I will be repeating the same thing for you because it has to be right. So what is practice? Why you need a practice? Most of youth, like I also crossed that your ages. Once we read it, and second time we read it, then we leave it. What happens? You should know the difference between a boarding or the board, like 10th board or 12th board, and then college studies. In the 10th board, you will start reading midterm, quarterly, midterm, half-yearly, midterm and final. That's the first stage. And the second stage, and entire exam you will be repeating, class test and then cycle test, all type, whatnot, all you will be doing it. But here, you will be reading tons and tons of books, but you will be writing, or you will not be writing a practice test. So how will you really improve your test module? But that's what the practice. So practice is that every syllabus which you completed, whether it's a chapter or a book you completed, you have to do a small practice, whether you have improved your status or not. How to improve this? Where do you stand? You may be asking about how to do about these things. Normally, before starting your preparation, you can test. You go through the proper syllabus and the previous year questions and analysis. One of the videos, we may talk also like how those questions being asked. So accordingly, you are finishing a chapter or a particular book. Before that, you are reading, you analyze it, your stand. After one reading, you will be doing a first test. When you do a first test, how much mark you score in it, right? First part in the multiple choice question. Suppose you are preparing for a written examination also. For example, most of the state examinations, state services or civil services, in the main examination, the second stage, there will be written examination. When the written is concerned, you have to have a practice. It's not a multiple choice question. So why you need a practice? So when you go through different question papers, and then based on the syllabus, you may be scoring low in one of the test papers, then you can improve it. That's what we tell people, to reinforce their memory, and then you go on continuously preparing for it. So this is the mistake most of the youth, they do it, they don't practice it. So practice makes perfection in this structure only. Practice in the prelim stage and main stage also. Most of the youth in the mock test, for example, when you go for a mock interview, it's you to learn about it. But as far as the mock test is concerned, like written examination or multiple choice question in the preliminary stage, they don't really do that much practice. They think that okay, fine, no, I have read it, it will be okay, fine. No, you have to test yourself, unless otherwise you test. Recently I interacted with the boys who are preparing for NEET examination. They went through like online free at the NTA. So the online question papers are available in the NTA. So the NTA, that is National Testing Agency questions, NEET questions, 150 tests. In the pandemic, somebody has gone through 150 tests, and the person scored more than 680. Just think about it, in the first attempt, 680 is remarkable. So how the boy or girl went through the previous year questions and the model test. So I asked the boy, how much is score earlier you scored. He said after completing the entire syllabus, The first test score was just 220 marks. Can you imagine? He has, first test 220, and he realized that lots of mistakes, negative mark he was committing it. So those mistakes he reduced after 4-5 tests, then started increasing. So 350 like that. And final test, he scored, it was around 660 marks. Just think about it. So what happens when you really prepare, continuously prepare and practice it, you are really able to really make the success. Same thing, any examination, model examination is must. That's what most of the boys and girls, they really go and join in a coaching institute. The coaching institute, importance of coaching institute of the videos we have spoken. So we'll also speak about it. That's very, very important. Why you need a practice, right? The practice gives a guidance, like introspect yourself. Suppose if you are not able to really do very well, there is a problem in your scoring, particular chapter there is a missing part, or particular subject there is a problem in you, then those areas can be rectified. Those areas can be easily understood. Okay, these are the analysis which the question I have done, but I could not be able to really understand well, or I was scoring continuously low. Then you can consult some experts that no, that's a problem in understanding. Then they will tell you the right guide and right book. Now most of the time the problem is that people don't really follow the quality books. Quality books, like they will be reading 10 books. But instead of reading 10 books, the best thing is that read 2 books. Maximum 2 books, but you read it 5 times. Instead of reading 10 books in a single time, read 2 books in an intensive way, and you will have a memory, because you read the 2 books for 5 times. The 5 times you will have a great memory. So this is missing part. So that's what we always say, that when somebody is entering into the arena of the competitive examination, he or she has to do a continuous practice for a perfection, right? Again, I will tell you, continuous practice for perfection. There is nothing called 100% perfection, right? But still you can remove those odds, those negatives. As I said, that like negative mark, boy writing, he found that there were mistakes he committing, but he started removing those mistakes. So that's what the test, that's what the practice, right? Do the practice purpose. Just do the best books, read best books and best test. So the takeaway from this lecture today, or this video, is that very important is that read, that is, you just whatever you are reading it, you practice that. The test you conducted, whatever the online conducted test or offline conducted test, you appear for it. Finally, you review it, practice it. So the improvement curve will be going upwards, right? That's very, very important. You keep this is, it's not a simple thing for written examination, especially the mock examination, especially the model examination. I am reiterating, unless otherwise, it's like war. Again, it's like war. You want to go for a war, or suppose you are fight or something like that, or shooting competition. Unless you never practice for shooting and directly go and shoot, is it possible to shoot on a particular point? Not possible. So you need a practice. So same thing, studies also, practice only will make you a perfected person, and then so that you can score very good marks, right? And this is applicable for all competitive examinations, not only civil services. Any competitive examination, you need total practice to make it perfection. Thank you very much.
For more videos, subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment. Don't forget to click the bell icon.